to our plank goodness. I'm Leanne and we're at Transformations Yoga and Pilates Studio, and today is rest day. So for our rest day, we're just going to look at a couple of stretches that can really help support all of those hard-working muscles that you have been connecting with during your plank challenges. So for standing or from a seated position, you are just going to allow your hips and your feet to be planted and relax the shoulders, right? You want to always think of the armpits going down because we're going to be reaching the arms overhead, and you don't want to have your shoulders reach up around the neck. You want to think of the armpits drawing back down. So we're going to reach the arms up. You can interlace the fingers, palms down, palms up, or just hold on to the hand, or where I like to hold on to the wrist. So armpits are down, and you're just going to lead, not with the hip. Start to lead with the upper body, just opening up, opening up. Leading with the hip is not a problem. It's not wrong. It's just different, right? So you just want to notice how you're feeling, and then you gently come up. And if you want to feel how that's different, you just lead with your hip, and then try to stretch on that side again, and see how that feels. So you want to hold your stretch for about, how about 2 breaths, right? So you're inhaling and exhaling, but you don't want to feel like you are working too hard. And then very gently, you're going to come up. So to keep in mind when you're stretching and getting this lengthening through the one side, the opposing muscles, the opposite side, is working, right? There is a contraction that's happening there. So we're going to try the other side, just reaching up. The armpits are down, and just think about this opening up along through the rib cage and the waist. And you want to try to avoid that you're not turning inwards, right? You want to be able to draw the shoulder blades back and be able to come up. And once again, if you like that stretch more with the hip, you can add the hip in. But try it first without it and see how it feels for you. And then gently come up. Right? And so that can be done from a seated position, whether you're sitting on the mat or on a chair. And now we're going to take a look at opening up through the belly. So we're going to come onto our mat, just lying down onto the mat. So we can progress from here, from the forehead down onto the forearms. You can lift the forearms up, shoulders drawing back and down, chin is in, looking at the mat. And if you're feeling no excess tension in your low back, then you can come up onto the forearms. And you're just resting. And we're looking for a gentle tension. And not to feel that you're crunching back, but you're lifting and reaching your rib cage and your chest and your heart forward. The upper back muscles are engaged when you're doing that, and lovely muscles along the spine. But we're going to stretch those in a moment. So now very gently you would come down, take your hands underneath the shoulders or near the chest, and you're going to bring the hips and the buttocks back. Only going to where it feels comfortable for the knees. So for those of you who are having excess tension in the knees and coming back is too uncomfortable, then you can just keep the hips and the buttocks up. Or we could put a blanket between the backs of the knees, and that will stop some of that pressure, that reaching back. So you're just going to reach back and relax through the back. Right? If you feel that's too much pressure for the head or for the eyes, you can keep the head up. But over time, this becomes a lot easier. And not only are we stretching to the muscles of the back and to the buttocks, but the backs of the inner thighs, the shins, and all the connective tissue of the knees. And then we're going to come back onto your belly, right? And take your hands near the chest or into just below the shoulders. Roll your shoulders back, have your elbows in, and you can keep your head down onto the mat. So you can stay here, or you start to lift. Now, keep in mind, I am not lifting my head up like this. I am not leading with the head. I'm going to look at the mat, roll the shoulders back, and I'm looking at the mat, and I'm leading with the belly and the chest. I'm trying to stretch the belly forward and the chest, and I'm not leading with the head, only going to where it feels good. The pubic bone stays on the floor, the shoulders are down, so the scapula is set back. And then you come down and you rest. Right, so great stretch for the back. And then we're going to come back up onto the knees to get into the QLs. So the quadratus lumborum, these are wonderful muscles that arise from the crest of your hip into the lower ribs. So we want to be able to stretch them out through the body. So if you're on your mat and you're on all fours, all you will do is take your hands off your mat to one side, and then you'll bring the hips back, and if you can, you lower the head. The knees can be together or they can be apart. Right, so you're just going to notice how that feels. Now, you may actually feel more of a stretch through the lats, through the latissimus dorsi, as that attaches into the arms. And so you may feel that stretch under the arms and through the side waist and the low back. And then you come up and we visit the other side. So once again, so you're on your mat, you're on to all fours, you're just taking your hands to one side, and you're reaching your hips back, right? And relaxing the head. And then gently come up. So try those stretches or just practice them, see which one makes you feel good. They should feel good. They're meant to help you feel good. You shouldn't feel any strain and definitely no pain. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow when we try to expand our plank challenge into 8 20-second holds. It's going to be fun. Can't wait to see you again. Peace.